Welcome, welcome. This is Solange Ellen, and I'm recording this little True News update from Ngadjuri Nation, Sandy Creek, South Australia, and just wanting to share where we're at with everything. There's a lot going on at the moment. Toby and I didn't go to the court appearances, that the satanic state wanted us to attend after they came to our home and attacked us. And we do not feel safe to do so and are under no lawful obligation to do so. So we notified the court of that. And since that has happened, we've had media camped out the front of our house each day, of this week. And we have spoken to the media twice and, given them honest information. The first time we did that, the reporter basically didn't report on any of the good and honest information that we shared. She just said, that if police come, that I wouldn't be going willingly, which is true. So I will not hand myself over to police ever again in their current state where they are, run by the pedophiles in Parliament. They're not trustworthy and they operate on bad information and bad orders, and they're abusers, and it's dangerous. So, if they do try to abduct me again, I will be locking myself away and hiding. Like, I'm not going to be going anywhere near them, and I won't make the same mistake of thinking that you can speak to them and that they're reasonable human beings, because that's how I got abducted last time. So, yeah, not going anywhere near these system workers while they're still working, under the direction of the satanic pedophile cult. It's an absolute danger, and that's what's happening with all of the systems, including the DCP, because we're also at the same time as being under attack, under this threat, this looming threat that police are coming to get us, because we speak out about child protection and we tell people the truth about the genocidal occupation of the First Nations and the COVID fraud. Because we tell the truth, we're targets. So that should tell the community that, the powers that be that are instructing these order followers are criminals. If the truth is a crime, we're being ruled over by liars, and that's where we're at. So, DCP and SAPOL work in collusion with the courts and the prisons and mental health. It's all just one big web of human and child trafficking, basically, where they're all making, all these constant fraudulent claims against us, sending us bills for this and that. They'll turn up at your door with a permission slip that they've written for themselves to take your child, and they just fabricate their allegations. They can make up whatever they want, and they shift the goalposts constantly. The people that have not been targeted yet think that there must be a good reason. If the DCP are targeting you, or the police are targeting you, or the courts have made a judgment against you, there must be a good reason. Well, I would encourage you to actually go do your own honest investigation and go to the source. Go actually speak to the families, the mothers, the fathers, the grandparents. Go get the actual details of the matter from the people involved and make your own honestly informed assessment. Do not be blindly trusting the authorities, and do not be blindly trusting the media, because they control all of this information to give the illusion that these authorities are trustworthy when they are absolutely not. They're not trustworthy. They are causing massive harm and loss across our entire community right now to so many families, and they're only going to escalate the longer we allow this illusion of them holding authority to remain in place. So we want to get together as a community, powerful families uniting. We want to have a get together on this Sunday at our place, the Ngadjuri Nation Freedom Farm. Sunday the 7th it is. Donna has just told me. Thank you, Donna. And yeah, from 1 o'clock. So maybe just bring a plate and you know, the kids can bring their bikes and have a play, and the parents, we can talk about how we're going to support each other in protecting our children and lawful remedy. You know, we're peaceful people. We're part of the People's Peace Alliance and People's Treaty. So this is about coming together as free living men and living women of this First Nations soil with full respect and recognition for our original elders and the lawmen and lawwomen of these First Nations that we live in and work in, and making our plan for we the people, and you know, we the parents and the grandparents and the aunties and the uncles and the people that love our children and want to protect them and protect all of our rights to freedom, free will and free choice, and work out how we're going to do that as a collective, you know, as a unified community. Because the way these predators work is to isolate their victims and then target them and pick them off. You know, they gang up. They'll send, you know, one mum with their child on their own, and they will send a gang of SAPOL and DCP to abduct that child. And you have got not a hope. You've got no hope of protecting your child from those armed strangers with their made-up lies coming to take your child, because they are professional child abduction teams. And we just need to see it for what it is now. Because
then they hold your child hostage.
Yes, they do.
The children always want to come home to their parents, and so they hold them hostage and you know, continue to emotionally traumatize them until they break them.
Yeah. Do you want to share a little bit of your update today, Donna?
Yeah, sure. We went into court today, and I opposed. I didn't agree with their adjournment. I talked about them returning to Kara to me immediately. I talked about I don't know, just I was happy with my performance. I can see where I fell down, and I won't do that again. But to tell you the truth, the proceedings hadn't even started. They just said to Heath, go and get a lawyer, and he said, oh, you're okay. So even that would have been enough for an adjournment.
Yeah, that is why it was adjourned. So Heath is Takara's father. Do you want to fill people in on that background?
He's Takara's dad, and he hasn't seen her since she was 9 or communicated with us pretty much since then. So for 5 years he hasn't. And so they've contacted him and brought him in on he was in a conference call, and I was there in person. And we weren't allowed to speak to each other or anything, you know, because of the nature of it. And he's said a bit of lies about me in the past as well. I've got friends that have seen him lie and can verify that as well. And it was good. I was happy with the things I said, but I still need to stand in my own power more and talk about having my, you know, the acknowledge the nation that I was in and stuff like that. I tried to run a Crown argument and stand under the Crown, and I won't do that again. It's even though it was a good argument, and that I come in as a living person and under the protection of the Crown and everything. Again, they just steamrolled it over the top of it and did what they want. They pretended that they hadn't served me papers, so they said, oh, that's another reason we need adjournment. I wanted to press on. I opposed the adjournment, and what I noticed is that it's not like a transcript where every word gets put on transcript. The magistrate or judge or whatever she was, I have to get her information again. She said she would tell the people what to write. Make a note of that. I'll put that on file. She's dictating. She's making the notes as she's going along. You know, what she wants recorded. And what we've heard in the past from people who've dealt with family court is that it's really hard to get transcripts. So, you know, I'll be trying to get the transcript. I'll be trying to, you know, do all that kind of stuff. But really, in the end, Soli's right in that you just don't want to give them your energy. You know, I was thinking of going to Supreme Court, to the High Court, dissolve the, you know, acts and everything like Peter's going to do, but it's already been done. I'm not going to do it again and end up like Peter when it's already been done. So now we're looking at getting grand juries to get the Bora cause. We're looking at going in to hopefully get the White Parliament House, like the common law Parliament House. Is that right? They're looking to go and occupy that. We are looking to go and occupy that for the people again, aren't we?
Yeah, the original sovereigns in the process.
Yeah, so
that's happening.
This is what I'm seeing. That's what we have to give the energy and pull that out of the court. So look, the acts, we know all the acts are under fraudulent seals. So all that's already, it's already fact.
Yeah.
So
We've got to
I'm not going to
simplify.
argue the Crown anymore.
Yeah, we've got to simplify it. So what these false authorities have done is they've weaponized law.
Yeah.
And they have made it so convoluted and so complex that, you know, us as just average men and average women, just, you know, common people, the everyday men and women, the mums and the dads, the nanas and the pops, we don't understand any of their legalese. And, you know, to go to court is a terrifying thing. And they have set it up deliberately that way so that you will get a lawyer to represent you.
Slave manager, like you can.
Yeah, slave manager. It's all about disempowering the individual and giving all of the power to these false authorities to make decisions over your life and about your family. And they have no right in these sovereign First Nations. These people, these judges and, you know, the DCP, SAPOL at the moment, all of them are agents of a foreign power. They're all working for corporations that have no lawful sovereignty, no jurisdiction of law, and they're operating criminally. They have no permission here in the sovereign First Nations to be trading or existing at all. They don't have permission. They're criminal organisations, and they're causing massive harm and loss to our community. And in the simplest form, all that we, the people, need to know is criminals have no authority. They have no authority. Criminals never have any authority. Abuse is always abuse. It doesn't matter if you've given yourself fancy titles and uniforms. If someone's coming to steal your child and hold them hostage and block and prevent you from knowing where they are, who they're with, you can have no communication.
Still to this day, we've had no communication with her. They still will not let me even speak to her on the phone. It's quite outrageous, actually. It's
torturous. We're watching Donna go through this, and it's absolutely cruel and torturous. And they are deliberately manipulating. They're using their false authority to claim this power over Donna and her daughter, and then to use that to abuse Donna and her daughter.
And everyone else who cares for her. The fallout is just disgusting. Anyone who cares for these children that are taken away, who have even known them, their friends, their families, everyone has got pain.
Yeah, it's a massive trauma ripple effect.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've been getting away with it so long. They are so polished at it. They have got so many tricks and manipulations, and they are, you know, they basically have positioned themselves to say, we are the law, and whatever we say goes, you know, and they put the parents in this disempowered position where they're willing to jump through any hoop and do anything to try and get their child back. And that's what these predators feed on. They love it. They get off on it, and it's disgusting. If you've ever actually seen how this works up close, it is the most vile and inhumane torture, and it needs to stop now. And the only way for us to stop it is to come together in the full light of truth. So all of our power is in recognising where we are in the sovereign First Nations, coming back to the real law of the land here with full respect and recognition for the original elders and the lawmen and the lawwomen, and coming together to actually have peace talks and work as a community again, come together as families and come together as a community of we the people, so that we can decide together what is our honestly informed will. And then we can give this system our directions, our lawful instructions, and then we, the people, can hold these system workers to account. Because the real law here is the honestly informed will of we, the people of the sovereign First Nations. That's the real law. And it's all about child protection. The real law is all about protecting people, and especially protecting the most vulnerable. protecting our families, protecting the sacredness of the child and the sanctity of the family, and protecting the unity, of our community, rather than destroying the fabric of family and destroying the community and keeping us always in stress and hardship, always under attack. That's their strategy: divide and conquer.
Isolate and dehumanize.
Yeah.
They want you isolated, they want you dehumanized. The reports they give you are disgusting. The lies, and that Takara got, what was it? She was too compliant. So she's too well behaved.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's too compliant. And terrible, her fingernails were dirty. Remove that child immediately.
Does she play?
Fingernails were dirty.
Does she play in the garden?
She might play outside sometimes into gardening, or just fingernails are dirty. That's it. Got to remove that kid. That kid's got dirty fingernails.
This is the level of absolute criminality. So these people, there are pedophile rings operating within DCP. So there are absolutely child sexual predators and child traffickers operating within DCP, and there are others that are not directly involved in that, but they are witnessing what's going on, and they're not speaking out publicly to the community to tell us what's going on. So they're all complicit.
They are.
Even
the carers. This is what they don't realise.
Yep.
Even you carers that are out there thinking you're working, but I'm working for them, looking after the children. Well, you're harbouring minors that are kidnapped.
Yeah, you're harbouring stolen children.
Yeah, please stop. Hand them back to the parents.
Yeah, Takara is a stolen child. She's a missing person. Her mother doesn't know where she is or who she is with. So if you know where Takara is, she needs to be returned to her mother immediately, as is the real law of the land here.
She's tall. She's about 5'8". You've seen pictures on Donna's Facebook. Go and look at her, and if you see her around, I don't know where they put her, if it's kept down south of Adelaide or where they put her. They could have shipped her off to Vic Harbour. Who knows? They probably have put her a fair way away because they know we have a big community. So no doubt they've put her at the other end of town somewhere, or even rural. Who knows? Because they know I've got such a big reach with the community. Everyone would know her.
Yeah. And we want her home. She needs to be returned. That is the law. The law is that the mother and the father and the natural family are the highest authority. It's their responsibility, and strangers making false claims or acting on false allegations do not have any authority under any real law ever to be stealing children and holding them hostage, blocking all communication with their family. This is child abuse. The DCP is harming Takara Markwell right now. She is being harmed, and the whole community needs to wake up and realise this is an ongoing crime that's happening right now, not just to Takara, but to many, many families who are all in trauma. They're being, lied to and manipulated and told that they have to stay quiet and don't talk about the details of your matter, because that will damage your case. That will damage your chance of getting your child back. So they use these abusive techniques to keep people in silence and hopeless despair, doing everything in their power to try and get their children back, while the DCP are getting paid to keep them. They're all getting paid. The judges, the lawyers, the DCP workers, the SAPOL, all the carers, everybody else is getting paid. That's child trafficking. And then they get
funding on top.
Yeah.
Then they get more funding on top of all their wages. They get all this prize money for getting a child. Woo, they see it like a prize. They got business awards. Yeah. DCP no longer actually have business awards.
Yeah.
They're making so much money.
They're in the business of stealing children.
They're a corporation that steal children, and they've got other corporations working with them.
Yeah.
And we're under direct attack.
Yeah, we are. And the wider community that think, that's not my problem, that doesn't affect me, you better wake up, because they've written themselves the permission in the Emergency Powers Act under this COVID fraud to come and steal any child at any time and take them away to a COVID isolation facility for 14 days, without any contact with the parents, without your consent. They don't care about you parents. They think you are their property, and they will manage you and your children as they see fit. And that is not law. That is criminal for-profit corporations making up lies that they're passing off as law. So the cure to all of this is for us to actually just start talking truth, just telling each other the truth, learning, you know, educating ourselves and each other about what's really going on, and coming back together as families and community to help each other, to protect all of our children, and to make a proper plan. So we want to, you know, hold that conversation. We're already doing it every day. We're holding it, you know, with all of the people that are coming to support Donna and to support us, where this is what we're talking about. And we want to do that on Sunday from 1 o'clock here at, you know, Ngadjuri Nation Freedom Farm at Sandy Creek. And, you know, if you're a concerned mum and dad that want to be part of this, you know, real child protection community where we all help each other to make sure our children are safe, you're welcome. So, you know, come along, even if you've never come before. We are peaceful people. There's the People's Peace Alliance, you know, People's Treaty. And yeah, we'll have a yarn, have an honest conversation, and we'll work together to turn everything around and make, you know, our community what we, the people, want it to be for our children.
Good.
Yeah, we'll hope that we'll see some of you Sunday.
Yeah, love to all you mothers and families who are going through similar things.
Yeah, come and share your stories with us, because we know, you know, we can hear you.
Yeah, and don't let DCP ever tell you that you're a crap person or a crap mother or anything. Just don't listen to liars and gossipers. They're troublemakers, DCP. People who feed into DCP and do these ridiculous notifications are gossipers and troublemakers as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we're meant to help each other, not be attacking each other and hurting each other. And yeah, it's time to turn it all around. All right.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.